How do I help my teenager cope with stress? That is our question for today on Tips on Teens, where I answer your parenting questions every Wednesday at noon. My name is Kent Toussaint. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I specialize in helping kids, teens, and families live happier lives. I run two organizations, a group private practice called Teen Therapy Center, also a nonprofit organization called Child and Teen Counseling, which is a training site for pre-licensed therapists offering low-cost counseling to the community in the Woodland Hills area and surrounding areas. Anyways, let's jump into today's question. So how do I help my kid deal with stress? That's a big topic for a little question. We could do a whole conference on this topic, so we don't have the time for that. We just have a few minutes, but I'm going to try to touch base on what some of the causes can be and some solutions to this problem. So first, let's try to figure out what are some of the causes. Now, there's lots of teenagers in this world, and stress is a part of life for teens. It's stressful to be a teen, and it's stressful to be a parent. I want to acknowledge that. Being a parent is not easy, so we get a lot of stress too. But teenagers, it's their first time going through this kind of stress. They've never gone through this stress, and it's our job to kind of help them go through this. I think the more we can identify where the stress is coming from, it gives us more agency in finding ways to solve the problem. One of the common problems, not the only problem, but a common problem, is sleep. San Diego State University a couple years ago did a research study and found that roughly 40% of teenagers get less than 7 hours of sleep a night. Less than 7. Teenagers should be getting 10 hours. Now, I know almost no teenagers are getting 10 hours of sleep a night, but they should be getting close, at least 8. But if you're getting less than 7, you're sleep deprived. And sleep deprivation can, after a while, look a lot like anxiety and depression. Both can be stress-induced. When that sleep is addressed and changed, a lot of those symptoms relax. But if you are sleep deprived, dealing with stress is a real challenge because your coping skills, your ability to use your prefrontal cortex, that executive function of the brain, is hampered and you're not able to use it properly. So you react or you shut down. So that's something really important to look into. Also, nutrition. Is your kid getting a moderately healthy diet? And I know everyone has a different idea of what is moderately healthy, but moderately healthy. If your kid is, living on chips and Pepsi, your kid's going to be stressed out. Screens. Excessive use of screens, tablets, phones, consoles, excuse me, they all can add stress. They don't relax people. They say, oh, I do this to relax. It doesn't relax you. It amps you up, and it amps you up in a way that it gives the brain stimulation that is usually assigned or connected to activity. So if you're out running around playing tag, it's stressful and it's exciting, but you're getting that physical activity, get it out. If you're playing a game or a first-person shooter, you're getting that same excitement, but you're not getting the physical release. So after the game, you're tense and agitated, and mom may say, hey, it's time for dinner. I don't want dinner right now, right? So those can be problems. So again, identifying where some of the stress is coming from can be helpful. So some of the solutions. What can help? Obviously, more sleep, healthy diet, a little less screen time. There is a correlation between screen time and lack of sleep. Again, according to this study, a lot of the kids, if they go to sleep in the room and they've got a device, they're likely waking up at least once, if not 3 times a night, to check their phone or their tablet, which means they're getting even less and less sleep. They're waking up every an hour or 2 hours or so. So getting the screens out of the room is helpful. Also, handwork, doing something, whether that's, knitting, or it's doing a puzzle or a model or cooking or doing something. It gives one a sense of mastery and autonomy. It gives them a sense of I can control, which is really important. Without that, it kind of gets lost. I've known a lot of kids who've gone to things like, again, knitting, model making, whittling wood. And again, it doesn't really matter what it is. It just matters that they have something that they find interesting that will do. None of it will be as fun as a video game or social media. So it's important to help guide them towards that. And again, that's a whole other discussion we can go into. Other things, again, physical activity, also talking. When your kid comes to talk to you about a stressful situation, we will often jump in and try to correct, well, why did you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? And start correcting what they should have done and telling them what they should do. And that we should not do that as parents. We need to zip our mouth, have big ears, and just listen and validate. So if your kid's complaining that, oh yeah, I yelled at my teacher because she was unfair, don't jump and say, well, you shouldn't yell at your teacher. Just say, wow, you must have been really angry. And just listen. If we just listen, eventually your kid's going to say, maybe I could have handled that differently, or I wish I didn't yell so much. But that's the place we want our kids to go to. When we jump in and try to correct, we're relieving our stress, but we're creating more stress for our kid because now they're not feeling heard, they're not feeling understood, and they're feeling criticized, and it's like, well, why even tell anyone? So now they feel like they've got to hold on to it all by themselves. Again, creating more stress. Again, big topic. If you have specific questions about this, please email us at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com. We can answer more in detail, or if you have another question you'd like me to answer next week, email us again, tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com, or direct message us right here on Facebook. We love your questions. Keep them coming. Again, my name is Kent Toussaint, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 12 on Facebook Live. Bye-bye.